Many of you have written to me extraordinarily concerned about the selection of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to Secretary of Health and Human Services. And, we've been joking a lot about raw milk and ivermectin lollipops for everybody, but not that I need to tell you, it's extraordinarily serious, this position, and it should be taken seriously, and you need a serious person in that position. Donald Trump's former Surgeon General, Jerome Adams, is now sounding the alarm that the way we're headed with RFK in charge of that department, we could be heading to 3 pandemics under Donald Trump. Jerome Adams posting on Twitter, whooping cough cases up 5x this year. 100,000 global measles deaths, mostly in kids. H5N1 steamrolling towards pandemic status, egg prices skyrocketing. The new administration had better have a strong infectious disease response plan and had better ensure public health and vaccine confidence stay high, or they'll be distracted with outbreaks for 4 years this time instead of just 1. There are many reasons to be concerned. And this, of course, is one of those situations where you really are going to be much better off in blue states than red states, not just because the blue state economies are so much better and the healthcare and the education is better, although that is part of it, but also because the places most likely to start playing coy with vaccines under Mr. Secretary RFK Jr. Are the red states as well. Now, look at the whole track record. Even though Trump initially wanted credit for the COVID vaccines, both before and after, he's promoted vaccine skepticism. He suggested injecting disinfectant during COVID and all that stuff. But imagine the damage that level of ignorance could do to public trust in vaccines for diseases like measles and whooping cough. We'll talk about that. Those are outbreaks that love it when vaccination rates drop. With the COVID vaccines, really, the vaccine is about keeping you alive, preventing serious illness, preventing hospitalizations. They're good at that. They're not good at preventing transmission. With pertussis, whooping cough, and measles, it is all about preventing transmission. And you'll recall that Trump's first administration tried slashing the CDC budget multiple times. Why fund public health when you can talk about building a wall or whatever? But if those cuts happen again, we could end up underfunded for a response to H5N1, which is knocking at the door, which I've been telling you about, and also potentially heading in the wrong direction on whooping cough and on measles. And Trump has had, as an elected official, sort of an on-again, off-again relationship with science. We could say it's a complicated relationship. He sidelines experts because his gut instincts are better. Twitter posts are better. People he hears on Fox News are better. And when you're talking about measles, whooping cough, and H5N1, you could be talking about delayed or botched responses to threats that are emerging. And we know what happens when there's a pandemic at stake. And delay is not good, and going the wrong direction is also not good. We would expect in this environment, whether it's measles, whooping cough, or H5N1, like it's already written, we all know it, it's written on the wall. If anything at any point is asked of any of these MAGAs, we are endlessly going to hear, they're taking my freedom, they're taking my liberty, all of this stuff, and those diseases are going to spread. I joked that with our last week, these are very morbid jokes, I'll admit. I joked that with RFK at the helm, it's almost like communicable disease got its own lobbyist, and they now have someone lobbying in favor of contagious disease in the incoming administration. Now, it also is worth mentioning that whole egg price thing. On the one hand, there's this irony that new reports suggest eggs aren't going to get any cheaper under Trump if things keep going in this direction with bird flu. Part of the reason egg prices are up has nothing to do with Joe Biden. And in fact, inflation numbers have been lower in the United States under Biden than in all of our Western developed sort of allies. But H5N1 is also, obviously it impacts poultry. It's going to impact egg prices. Whatever Trump's response is to H5N1, we can safely assume it's not going to bring down egg prices. Maybe he'll do a press conference blaming China. Maybe he'll blame immigrants. Maybe he'll blame windmills. But it is not going to be a response that actually will do what he said he would do on egg prices. Vaccination is another aspect of this that I want to talk about. Whooping cough. Whooping cough has an R0, a reproduction rate of 12 to 17. That's very, very contagious. To have herd immunity on whooping cough, you need 92 to 94% vaccination. You know that in this environment, there will be 6 to 8%, mostly right-wingers, although as I've said before, there's left-wing anti-vax as well. There could easily be 6 to 8% of parents who say, nah, we're not doing the whooping cough vaccine. And whooping cough is extra tricky because we know that immunity wanes. Whether you've gotten a vaccine or whether you've gotten an infection, immunity wanes, and you need the boosters to maintain protection. You need 92 to 94% protection in order to have herd immunity. With measles, even more contagious. The R0 can go as high as 18. So one of the most contagious diseases that is known. You need a little bit more vaccination for herd immunity. Instead of 92 to 94, it's more like 93 to 95. You absolutely need that if the goal here is to prevent an outbreak. And you can certainly assume 5 to 7% of parents, especially in this kind of new anti-vaccine COVID skepticism climate, may move in a different direction. On top of the fact, you'll have RFK saying, on the one hand, I'm not anti-vax, but then having told, I believe it was Lex Friedman, there is no safe and effective vaccine, period, full stop. So this all looks very bad. And all we can do is what? Take the precautions we can take ourselves, talk to people, hopefully be in states where state government is doing what it can to protect people. What else can you do? At a certain point, you can't do more. And that is a sort of depressing realization. Well, I wrote a book after a long journey and a ton of work. I am really thrilled with how it turned out, and I hope you'll read it. The book is called The Echo Machine. And in a nutshell, it looks at how American politics got so broken, who has already figured out solutions, and how we can try to fix it and stop the terror of Trump for the next 4 years. With Trump winning this election, The Echo Machine couldn't be more relevant, not only a warning about how we got here, but also about what might be coming and how to prevent the worst outcomes. We've got to stay engaged. We need a plan, and that's what the book is about. There's a belief out there that unless you have corporate media behind you, you can't have a successful political book launch, that it's not possible. I think we can prove that wrong. Order The Echo Machine today at davidpakman.com/echo on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Audible, Kindle, anywhere that books, ebooks, and audiobooks are sold. You can also call any local bookstore and say, please order me The Echo Machine by David Pakman. Wherever you get the book, you'll get the free pre-order perks, including the signed book plate. Head to davidpakman.com/free book stuff after ordering.